We're halfway through deadline day, and I've decided to make my predictions for what I think could happen to every team, not on deadline day, but for the rest of the season. Arsenal, they will probably get the youngest goal scorer in Premier League history. Max Dowman, well, he's already been playing, and it looks like he's probably going to get that goal sometime soon. And yeah, Max Dowman, he's like 15 years old. What were you doing when you were 15 years old? Apart from sat there on your own like a lonely, sad person eating chocolate, watching the news, thinking, what the hell have I done with my life? Now, Aston Villa up next. I mean, I know I've given myself an advantage because this is 3 match days in, so I do kind of have a reflection, but I don't think Unai Emery's going to make it through the season. And I already had that in mind before they started the Premier League season. And that's not him getting sacked. I believe he's going to get offered a big job. And with the Leverkusen job open, or different jobs that will come down as the year progresses, I think Unai Emery will jump ships because they're not in the Champions League anymore. And Aston Villa, they'll be the second most fried thing in Birmingham. The first being Birmingham after losing 2-0 to Leicester and thinking they could go and walk the league like it was Ipswich. Brentford up next. This is a pretty self-explanatory one. Keith Andrews to get sacked before Christmas and to be the first manager sacked this season. Well, they've promoted somebody who's been at the club for a bit of time, but my question to them is, you've been in the Premier League for 4 years in a row. This came up in 2021. They're going to end it in 2026. So that's 5 seasons now. This is the 5th season in the Premier League. They're currently losing Johan Visser to Newcastle. They've lost Mbeumo. They've lost Thomas Frank. They've lost Christian Nagel, or how he pronounces his name. They've lost Mark Flecken. They've got Kevin Kelleher. They've got some random guy from Birmingham's youth team, second team. I mean, why have you signed somebody from Birmingham's youth, second team, whatever you call it, if he's not even in the Birmingham normal team? Brentford's falling apart. The G-Tech community's got less atmosphere than a funeral, and that's saying something, because they're normally dead. Excuse the pun. And they've lost their sting. Also, excuse the pun. Griffin Park had more atmosphere, and that's saying something. And Brentford, the days of BMW are over. If they had BMW right now, they'd have probably crashed into a tree and gone back down to the Championship. Let's move on. Brighton. Good prediction for Brighton. It's a tough one to go for because Brighton, they've got anything that could happen really. But I'm going to go with the prediction that they get more than 8 wins against teams that are in Europe. Because they've already beat Man City, and I just think they'll beat teams that are in Europe a lot. That includes Forest, Newcastle, Villa, and all of the other teams in Europe, even Tottenham. But that's... I mean, Thomas Frank's had a good start, but Bournemouth is a blip. Bump in the road. Bournemouth, talking about Bournemouth, they're going to win a domestic cup this year. That is my prediction for them. Look at them, the Cherries. They've still got Antoine Semenyo. He's showing no signs of leaving on deadline day. They've got Evan Nilsson. They've got really good players. They've got a good goalkeeper in Jordan Petrovic. They've just beat Tottenham. They're looking decent. They beat Wolves, but that's kind of easy at this point. And yeah, I just think they might win the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, any of them. And they'll qualify for Europe because of it. Because that's how cups work. I'm an idiot at times. Burnley. No more Sean Dyche. No more terrible kits. Sorry, tell a lie, their away kit looks like the boy in the striped pyjamas. The badge isn't as good as the old badge. I miss retro Burnley. The ones where they had Sean Dyche and park the bus and snap everybody and Brexit means Brexit. Instead, my prediction for them, They're going down. I'm going Timber. They'll sign a Timber. No, they won't. They're going down. That's not my prediction. They're going down with less than 20 points. But I still don't think anybody's going to beat Derby County's lowest point record this season. Southampton were close, but I think Burnley will go down with less than 20 points, just not less than 11. Chelsea. They're not going to finish in the top 24 in the Champions League. There, I've said it. They've done all of this work in the Club World Cup, the most pointless trophy and the more tiring trophy than... What's been a more pointless trophy? The Audi Cup? No, Tottenham still claim that as their only good trophy with the Europa League in their cabinet. But yeah, Chelsea not going to make it out of the Champions League group stage. Done. Come on. Crystal Palace up next. And this is like a bit of a fun slideshow now. Crystal Palace. They're going to win the Conference League. Enough needs to be said. The Conference League is a bunch of farmers who are just trying to get some pay from UEFA, and Conference League was just created because they got bored of having only 2 competitions and not as many people in Europe that tire players out. So instead of doing the legal and nice thing of reducing the playing time for players, instead let's add another tournament, a bigger World Cup, more Club World Cups, and a Conference League. Soon there'll be an Influencers League, which is the Ballers League. Soon there'll be a Champions Europa Conference League. Soon there'll be a Farmers League. And Everton, Jack Grealish to get more than 15 goals and assists combined. And they finish in the top 12. And I will be doing an updated Premier League Championship prediction after the deadline day, because it's currently halfway through deadline day. And I just decided, you know what? While stuff's going on, I'll get stuff going on. Everton, Jack Grealish, Iliman Ndiaye. Obviously, I'm not going to predict anything for Iliman Ndiaye because he goes to AFCON. But there is a prediction about AFCON that will come soon. And let's move on swiftly from Everton to Fulham. Fulham. And I'm having a really big pause because I'm kind of struggling what to think about Fulham. Do I predict they go mid-table again? No, that's too easy. They're going to qualify for Europe. There, said it. I have nothing else to say because Fulham, the cottagers, go eat your cottage cheese and everything. Leeds. Dirty Leeds. What the hell were Leeds doing? They're going to survive. They're going to get top 10. No, I'm joking, not top 10. One thing I'm going to say. Daniel Farke, sacked halfway through the season. Leeds will have 3 managers this season, and that excludes caretakers. Done. Liverpool will lose every game during AFCON. Now, I think Liverpool are going to win the league. Yes. But do I think they're going to do well without Salah? Yes. But why the hell have I predicted them to lose every game during AFCON? One reason. I've just got no other predictions for them, otherwise it's going to be easy. And I'm not going to say they get relegated because that's Man United, to be frank. The wrong red club. The wrong massive giant. They're going to win the title, but because I have no other predictions for them, I'm as useless as a child trying to reach the top shelf when he's 4'4". And don't look at me like I've just punched a tooth fairy for only giving me 50p for 4 teeth. I've got nothing else. I've got nothing left. Man City won't qualify for Champions League this year. There's nothing else to say, really. They've looked poor against Brighton. They looked terrible against Thomas Frank's Tottenham. They only beat Wolves because Wolves are looking like a bit of a hellhole. I mean, Wolverhampton is a hellhole, but oh well. But it's not looking good, bruv. And Man City, even Arsenal have more chance of winning the Premier League. And that's a prediction I could have given Arsenal. Winning the Premier League or not finishing second. Good Arsenal are just going to finish second again, and I predicted Man City to finish second. But with their form, I know they come on in the middle of the season. It's not looking good. Man United, they lose in round 3 of the FA Cup to a non-league side. Now, 5 years ago, if I said that, you would have bitten my hand off and said, "Who the hell do you think you are, you stupid little twit?" They've just lost to bloody Grimsby. MWS is jumping up and down like it's Valentine's Day and he's just got 17 girlfriends asking about him. Jesus Christ, Grimsby. They've just got slapped round the face by the Mariners with their blooming inflatable fish in their small stadium with people climbing on their roofs just to watch them beat Man City. Man City. I wish they beat Man City as well, because why not? Let's say this is a normal other prediction. Grimsby will beat Man City if they get drawn against Man City, because why not? Let's just have a bit of fun. Add a bit of spice, a pinch of salt. Currently, even a pinch of salt. Phil Salt, the cricket player, is probably a better goalkeeper than all they've got right now, because he's a wicket keeper. And if he can do his hands against small balls, what can he do with big balls? Okay. Moving on to Newcastle. Isak's already gone by the time this video is released, so if he isn't gone, then Jesus Christ, how the hell have Liverpool fumbled that? But my prediction for Newcastle, to reach the quarter-final of the Champions League. I reckon losing Isak will be the fuel that they need to push on, determined to get through the Champions League. And yeah, the quarter-finals might be a little bit ambitious, but Newcastle have some fire in their belly. And Gordon has fire in his boots by slide tackling Van Dijk every time he sees him. He's like rugby tackling anybody that goes near Messi, like Messi's bodyguard. Forest won't qualify for Europe, won't finish in the top 10. I mean, I did predict them to finish 9th, but I think they're going to finish 11th. Sunderland, I predicted them to go down without a fight. Funnily enough, just like Tyson Fury against Alexander Usyk. Way! Freddie Woodman. Way! Sunderland, they will win both times they play Newcastle. That's right. Sunderland will win the Timeware Derby 2 times, but not in the Premier League. Knowing the dodgy stuff that happens in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup draws, they'll probably end up drew against each other in the FA Cup or Carabao Cup. That's if Sunderland make it. And yeah, Tottenham will win another trophy. Oh, even I'm struggling to keep a straight face. It was a miracle that they won one last time just to send off Heung-min Son, and still Postecoglou got sacked. If Thomas Frank won the treble in his first season, Daniel Levy would probably say, or Levy or whatever his name is, the massive egg that runs Tottenham. Yeah, there we go, we'll just call him that. The massive egg that runs Tottenham will still probably sack Thomas Frank for winning trophies, because it's Tottenham, they don't want to win trophies, they want a dusty cabinet that keeps Arsenal away, because Arsenal's cabinet is probably going to be fairly dusty in 10 years' time, even though they've got a bunch of FA Cups and Carabao Cups and no Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues, but they still brag about it. West Ham, going down. West Ham's going to get relegated. Wolves, going down. They're going to get relegated. And a final Premier League prediction. More than 10 managers to get sacked this season. Rivalries will be boring, with some added fire from dodgy refs and VAR just wanting a victory. At least 2 refs will get suspended this season for being absolutely dodgy idiots. Michael Oliver will get another 5 million from Man City. And finally, a massive Premier League prediction. All 3 promoted teams will score more than 35 goals this season. Goodbye.